Hey, Freedom Seeker. Welcome back to the Freedom Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Lindsay Sutherland. Today we're doing something a little different, mainly because it's getting close to the end of the year and it's such a good time for slowing down and really looking inward to see how we can grow. Before we put in the systems and the strategies, oftentimes we need some clarity, and it starts with asking ourselves some really good, juicy questions to make us think more deeply about our desires. And today's question is, where do you need more simplicity? So let's dig in.
Don't miss an episode. Subscribe to this show on whatever podcast player you prefer, and follow me on Facebook and Instagram.
Right now, I'm grateful to say that I'm recording this from my log cabin, my dream log cabin. Now, there's no snow falling outside yet, but there are beautiful, colorful leaves falling, and the fire's going, and it's quiet, mainly just because my kids are at school. But, I take what I can get. And I've really been thinking a lot about simplicity lately, because here's what I'm noticing. The more successful business gets, the more complicated it wants to become. The more we fuel ourselves to do more and accomplish more offers and more platforms, more ideas, we see more opportunity. It's very exciting and it can really feel motivating. But somewhere in all of that more, we just start to lose the simplicity that really called us to do what we're doing in the first place. And I'm guilty of this too. I moved up here for the quiet mornings in Idaho, sitting on my porch and admiring the scenery. And some days I find myself waking up and plugging into my computer, and then all of a sudden it's 5 o'clock and I haven't left my office except for maybe a few bathroom breaks and a few food breaks. And that is not simplicity. I left the city for this, and it's easy to get so wrapped up in what's in front of us and the doing that it creeps. It's like that more creep. We'll call it the more creep. What is creeping in that's just infringing on your space, your quiet space? Where do you need more simplicity? I think really that's mostly what moves us to build scalable businesses, to build simple businesses. Where in your business are you overcomplicating things? Where are you thinking more is the answer, when maybe it's not about doing more? It's about not doing more as in new things. It's about doing more of what's working and less of what's not working. Where can you double down on things that are already effective, instead of trying to think of the next new shiny object? And it could be a product offer, maybe it's a marketing strategy or whatever, but what's working in your business that you can anchor in? I think this is such a good time for reflection. I really love the part of why I moved up here was because I wanted to be somewhere that had seasons. Being in Arizona, it's like summer and winter, and I don't know, spring and fall they just don't happen like I wanted. And I feel so much more in tune with the earth here. That's just what's true for me. But to me, fall is a time where everything's getting prepared to be dormant. What if your business was like that in seasons? We all long for this. I was just talking to somebody the other day. He said, yeah, I got a time on your calendar. Forgive me, it's a few weeks out. I said, right, because this is the time we always assume everything's going to slow down, and then it never does. It doesn't if we're expecting it to, but it can if we are mindful and intentional about it. So today I invite you to lean into the fall energy, this time where everything in life is preparing to just be at rest. And where can you create more space and simplicity in your business and in your life? All right, my dear friend, I appreciate you tuning in for this. By the way, one of the areas that I'm simplifying is in social media. As I have leaned into my brand identity and discovered really how to merge who I am, my uniqueness, with my business systems and strategies, okay, I got excited. And for like a fleeting moment, I'm like, oh my gosh, now I feel like I can be all over social media because I finally feel like I can be myself and I know what to talk about. And I got to be honest with you, I know myself. If I make it a priority to be wild and show up in all these places, I will burn out. It will not be sustained. I'll lose sight of this beauty of my uniqueness that I have found. This like leaning into the truth of who I am. By the way, I'm offering this training for free right now. If you want access and you're like, oh my gosh, that sounds so good. I wish I had clarity about my brand identity and like my uniqueness. It's like, you know what it feels like? It feels like trying on a piece of clothing at the store that you just know was meant for you. It just feels so right. And it's so spot on when it happens. Not only that, but it will really help you attract the people who are meant for you, your super fans. And I go into that more in the training, but it's free. If you want access to it, just shoot me an email to lindsay@bizinaboxsolutions.com. And I've got that down in the show notes if you are in a position to write it down. And just ask me. I'll send you access to it. I just want to really see that help you, find your truth and your authentic voice. And sometimes it's like we start our business because it's all about what we know and what will people pay me for and the skills we have. And what sets you apart though is you, your personality. And sometimes it's so hard to like lean into and like let it shine in what you do. But what I was going to say, going back to the whole social media thing, is this. I'm focusing on Facebook. I spend the most time on Facebook. I feel like the people I connect with are on Facebook. Yeah, maybe I'm dating myself, but I don't care because that's okay. I want to attract people who I would vibe with. And therefore my people will be on Facebook. So if you are wanting to connect with me, follow me there and let's just get into a conversation because really that's what this is about. It's about connecting with people that we like, and I want to connect with you. So if this episode has resonated with you and you're like, yeah, this is an area that I feel like I'm grateful for this conversation, Lindsay, thank you. I would love to know that. So just follow me on Facebook. You can friend me. You can send me a DM. Also, please, if you do friend me though, send me a DM. I really like to know that the person that's friending me is like a real human, not a bot. And two, that, we have a connection. I really want to know my followers and not just have followers for the sake of having followers. So please, I invite you to really connect with me there. Okay, the other ask is if this resonated with you, please leave a review. Kind of personally setting a goal right now to get more reviews on the podcast. It would be really great. It helps other people know what's in store for them. So I appreciate that very much. All right, well, enjoy. Do some journaling. Pull out that journal and start asking yourself the question about simplicity. Where can you see more of that in your life? Where would you like to see more of that in your life? How can you say yes to more of what is yes to you in your heart? And where will you say no so that you can create space? Until next time, bye for now.